Welcome back to the calendar. I'm Michelle Horst, of course, here with the Lifestyle's Chris Copley. We are giving you some very warm and exciting events to go to over the next couple days as it's cold outside and you might not really, want to do something outside. So we got lots of inside events for you to do.
And this is seasonal. This next event is seasonal. Elvis was born on January 8th.
Okay.
79 years ago in Mississippi.
Ah.
And so there is an event, a fundraiser actually, to raise funds for the Parent-Child Center, which is here in Hagerstown, featuring a couple, not just one but two Elvis tribute artists. Kevin Booth has been around for a long time in this area. He does a range of Elvis time periods. He apparently is going to be presenting the gospel music of Elvis. And then Jed Duvall, who this is the first time that I've heard him performing here in the area. He also does a range of times, periods of Elvis, and he'll also be performing.
And I imagine they'll probably be in full Elvis costume.
Yes, they will.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yep.
I don't think that I have ever heard of anyone doing an Elvis impersonation without the entire getup on.
It's a
a
visual show.
qualification.
I think so. It's visual as well as audio. You want to hear the music, but you also want to see the star.
Absolutely.
Also, Jed Duvall does Johnny Cash, and so he'll be doing a little bit of Johnny Cash music as well. And again,
Wonderful.
he'll look the part.
Great. So that's going to be at the Elks on Saturday. Let's put that information up on the screen for you. Elvis's 79th birthday tribute. Can't wait to see what they do next year on his 80th birthday. All that information is up there. $10 to get in. Okay, so concert-style opera. Chris, what is that? Let's talk about it.
Okay, so the Hub Opera Ensemble has been active, I think it is three plus years here in the area. They usually will do a full opera in the fall, a full opera in the spring, and then they'll do what they call a concert opera in January or February. This is where it's a less extensive presentation. The actors or the singers will essentially stand on the stage and sing to the audience. They'll interact a little bit, but there's not the choreography.
Just kind of to hold us over to the big performance. In
Right.
the
And they're doing a couple of smaller, less well-known operas, essentially one-act operas, if you will. And so this is Cavaliere, Rusticana, and Pagliacci.
Perfect. I was glad you were going to say those.
I'm not an opera fan, so I'm really out of the loop. But these are a couple of the less well-known operas, if you will.
All right, so that's going to be Saturday and Sunday coming up. Let's put that information up on the screen. There's a lot of it there for you at the Hagerstown Community Colleges. It's Kepler Performing Visual Arts and Education Center. Not just Kepler Theater anymore, guys.
Right.
Out there, so that's this weekend. Tickets between $15 and $25. Make sure you head out and check that out. I'm sure it's going to be nice and warm and cozy in that new building. All right, now going down, what do we have here at the Unitarian Church?
This is the Unitarian Church here in town hosts a monthly labyrinth walk, and this is an opportunity. Labyrinths have become had a resurgence of popularity in the last 15 years or so, especially among churches, New Age meditative practices.
That's very interesting.
Walking, a labyrinth is some people think of it as a synonym for a maze, like a turf maze or a corn maze. A labyrinth is different. It is intended to be not something that you search through to find your way. There's one path in, you follow the path, and it goes through the labyrinth and brings you back out. So it's a chance to almost, it's like a prayer walk, if you will. You're walking, you take a step, you have something that you're praying or meditating on, and so you can pass through the labyrinth through essentially a long walk that's curled up in a small round space, typically round. And so it's a meditative practice. And the church is inviting the public in to use, they have an indoor labyrinth, which is in the style of the labyrinth that is in the floor of Chartres Cathedral in France. It is actually set in the floor. This is a miniature version of that, so it has a few less of the rings, if you will. And that's available inside. Outside, in the back of the church, they have a pattern that they've laid out in stone and brick in the earth. And so that's based on patterns found on the island of Crete, which is an old pre-Greek civilization.
So is that something that other churches in the area have, or is that kind of unique to
I don't know of any other churches that do.
It
is. It's a nice way to again, winter is the period of drawing in.
And reflection.
So here's a chance to do that. You go within. It'll be, it's a chance to think or meditate or pray.
Wonderful.
So
Well,
let's get that information
okay,
up on the screen.
let's give that up
That's
too.
the Labyrinth Walk, 1 to 3 p.m. Sunday. It's at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Hagerstown, which is west of Hagerstown on Searfoss Pike. It's free, there's no charge, and there's a phone number there on the screen.
Very interesting, especially this cold air kind of gives us the time to reflect and think and kind of just, well, not much else you want to do outside either at
And
this
we've
point.
just gone through the madcap rush of the holidays, and
Yes.
so it's a kind of a chance to regroup and you know,
slow down.
Yes, and slow down.
Okay, so now we're going to go down to a recital by high school singers and musicians.
Yeah, and this is interesting. Williamsport High School has a music studio practices class. Sort of the upper level singers and instrumentalists who perform and play and learn what it might be like to be an actual professional musician.
Okay.
So they will have a chance, some of them will have a chance to perform at the Washington County Museum of Fine Arts. That's this Sunday, and they're doing, so it's a sort of a recital format in on the stage at the museum.
Okay.
Again, sort of low-key, not pop music. You know, well, I probably shouldn't. They'll be doing things to show off their technique and show off their style. Some of that might be pop, but I'm guessing, given that it's the setting is the museum, they may be more restrained than you know, jump up and down.
So it's pretty much a time for them to decide if this is a career path that they would like to do, or
And they
given
want to
an
show what
opportunity.
they've learned to an
Great.
appreciative audience.
Let's throw that information up on the screen really quick. That's going to be Sunday at 2:30 at the Washington County Museum of Fine Arts downtown. Okay, so books in the digital age.
This is interesting. Yeah, there's Evan Howe is coming to the Fletcher Library the new library in downtown Hagerstown, and he's talking about the value of books. That is, actual hard copy books in a digital age when even books are being digitized and put up online. He wants people to know that having an actual book in your hand still makes a difference, and so that's what he'll be talking about.
It does, and I don't know if it's just me being a journalist kind of girl, but all the technology is a little, I miss those books. I like to open the old library books and smell them, and just there's something about that. So let's give you that information really quick. That's going to be Monday at 7 o'clock at the library downtown, and it's free. So come and check that out. All right, so that's about all the events we have. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for joining us on the calendar.